Welcome, friends, to Emerson Unitary Universalist Congregation. I am Jeffrey Jacoby, and I'm today's worship associate. Wherever you are on your life journey, you are welcome here. Whomever you love, wherever you were born, whatever language you speak, you are welcome here. Whatever your skin color, whatever your class background, whatever your range of abilities, you are welcome here. We're so glad that you chose our congregation as your place of worship this morning. We come together for worship in order to slow down and listen for the callings of our hearts, our spirits. For everyone here in person, you are invited to join us for social time following the service for light refreshment in our 2 fellowship halls. One is downstairs right behind the sanctuary down this hall, and the other is set aside for family-friendly fellowship. That's not easy to say. And family-friendly fellowship and snacks, and it's upstairs in room 214. You can reach it by the back stairs or the elevator. After fellowship time, please join us for religious exploration for all ages and small group activities as listed on the back of your order of service. There's always lots of really interesting things to do after the service. And it is so good to be here together. And now, we pause to light our chalice as a symbol of our shared Unitarian Universalism faith. Valentino Branum-Martin will share the chalice lighting words today, and Xander Raven will light the chalice.
May the light we now kindle inspire us to see our powers, to heal and not harm, to help and not hinder, to bless and not curse, and serve all living things.
Thank you, Xander and Valentino. And now, in the spirit of love and the beloved community, let's greet and welcome each other to this new day as we share our congregational affirmation. We need not think alike to love alike. For those in the sanctuary, please feel free to move around to offer greetings, and for those online, please use the chat to introduce yourself. Oh, the book, thank you.
It is so good to hear the conversation and the joy in the room. My name is Reverend Christina Branum-Martin. It is so good to be with you this morning. Jeffrey and I will share a reading for our opening words today.
To laugh is to risk appearing the fool.
To weep is to risk appearing sentimental.
To reach out for another is to risk exposing our true self.
To place our ideas, our dreams before the crowd is to risk loss.
To love is to risk not being loved in return.
And to hope is to risk despair.
To try is to risk failure.
And to live is to risk dying.
May we all live courageously, even when the risk is great. And now in celebration, let's join together in song. Please rise in body or in voice as we join together to sing hymn number 360, Here We Have Gathered.
Today is a special day. A couple of times in the year, we welcome new members to our congregation. And today we have the privilege of welcoming 9 new members. Choosing to become a member of a Unitarian Universalist congregation is simply an act of love. It is a way to declare and affirm the values that we hold together as Unitarian Universalists. Pluralism, equity, transformation, generosity, justice, interdependence, and all of those centered around love. We are delighted that all of you are here with us today, and we will be offering a rose to you. It moved. For you and welcome. I would like to invite those to come forward when I call your name and bring your new member book. And note that if you did not get one as you came in, the blue toner ran out this morning. So if you have a neighbor that has one, please feel free to look. And note that we will have words on the back, and you can share or you can listen along. So first, I would like to welcome, and you can come up and stand right here with me, Julie Glazer, Julie Mixon, Mike Kuhar, Kate Picklesheimer, Karen Knight and Pat Lee, Patricia Edmiston, Kappa Cheatham, and Martha Ashburn. So, new members, will you read for us the words that are listed for you? I'll read them aloud for the group. We enter this faith with hope and possibility in our hearts, pledging to participate in and support the ministries of this congregation. We covenant to remain true to the spirit of love that flows through us and guides us. We seek your welcome as we join you in this faith. We are all connected. And I invite the congregation to join in the congregational response words that are on the back. We welcome you as once we were welcomed. We seek to be open and inclusive, respecting your inherent dignity, your ideas, and your vision. We seek to be supportive, not only when you reach out to us in courage, but also when you need us to reach out to you. In return, we ask that you recognize our humanity. We will not always live up to our ideals, and when we fall short, we invite you to stay in relationship with us and help us more fully bring alive the spirit of love. We welcome you as an equal member of this congregation, of this faith, and of our shared spiritual journey. We are all connected. And what I ask from each of you is to come and let Millie, one of our dearest members, to sign the membership book. And for all of you, this membership book is almost 30 years old, and we're on the second to last page. So what a bittersweet thing. So maybe we could play a little music while they sign. thank you so much for Jillian and for Millie to help us with our service. We now come to a time of sharing our joys and our sorrows and our concerns together in this community. And Xander, where are you? Oh, you can do the stones, right? Great. We have quite a few things to share this morning. We have stones that are heavy and smooth, and they are welcomed into water that is calming. The stones are indicative of the things we carry in our lives, sometimes the things that are heavy on our heart, or the joys that smooth out the days. We start each week by placing 3 stones. The first is in honor of the Cherokee and the Muskogee nations of the indigenous people whose land we are on. We also place one in memory and in recognition of those who were wrongly enslaved and who labored on this land. And we put a very big, heavy stone for all the wars and conflicts raging across the globe and in our country. Here's a celebration from Tren Barron and Riley Lyons. We would like to share with great joy that we will be married tonight at TELUS Science Museum in Cartersville. Reverend Christina will be officiating, and Lindsay Tomick will be joining us as Riley's stand-in mom. A huge thanks to Daniela for bringing us together a couple of years ago after she had Tren first as a religious education teacher. And Harley is very excited to be our not-so-typical flower girl who will be dressing in dinosaur pajamas. Anyone who is familiar with Riley's love of dinosaurs would understand this excitement. All forms of congratulations are welcome. Last week, we had a ceremony here, and this is a note from Lindsay Tomick. Surrounded by friends and family, my daughter Ollie celebrated her legal name change with a glitter blessing. We thank those who attended and celebrated with us for this joyful moment in her life. You all give her strength and support to be herself. Here's one from Laura. Thanks to Michael and John for a wonderful Hindu temple tour with the junior high and high school youth. Sita Ram all the way, baby. Jane Dillingham would like to thank all those who have been supporting me and my sister Vicki in the beginning of her long journey ahead with the recurrence of breast cancer. Continued good energy, prayers, and hope are appreciated. Constance has prayers for healing, having a challenge with both health and time in the hospital, but doing okay. And the last one, we celebrate that Millie Fuller and the whole family are celebrating Richard Fuller's 86th birthday today. This is following a celebration. This is a celebration because this follows a few days in the hospital with some unexplained things, and we are glad that Richard is feeling better. Would you join me as we close with the Buddhist prayer of loving kindness? May we all be filled with loving kindness. May we all be free from harm and suffering. May we all be well in body, heart, and mind. May we all be at peace. Blessed be.
The offering that we take each Sunday isn't just a stale habit. It's an opportunity to recommit to this place and to this people. Our offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts freely given, may we say yes to the values of our faith. Our offerings help us practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond our congregation as tools to bring more love to the world. Each week, our offering is equally shared between our congregation and our partner organization. This month, we are supporting Cobb County Democracy Center, a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization that educates on current legislation and provides policy advocacy on issues that affect ordinary people, such as affordable housing, redistricting, voting rights protection, access to medical and mental health care, public safety, access to quality education, and issues surrounding food insecurity. And of course, they help people to register and encourage folks to get out and vote. For those in the sanctuary, as the basket is passed, please feel free to offer a donation or see in your order of service other ways to give. For those online, go to emersonuu.org and select the Giving tab to donate. For the children among us, there are lollipops in the basket too, and we greatly appreciate your generosity.
Something I'm going to share while they pass the basket. While the basket is passed, I have something to share. I forgot to say a really, really big joy. It's a kind of a combination, so feel free to pass the basket. So many of you know that the sign that was replaced after the vandalism in July got vandalized again 2 weeks ago. And there was an article in the paper. We were interviewed for some news clippings. And we had a neighbor who's in the community call and say, you know, I want to replace that sign. I'm going to pay for it. So the frame had been pushed over probably by a car because it was really messed up. The metal sign that the sign company last time donated was actually gone, not to be ever found. Well, we found it. It was returned in the middle of the night. So we found it last Sunday, slipped into the playground, undamaged, not scratched up or anything. For whatever reason, it was decided upon to return it. We are grateful. So the neighbor in the community who wants to help replace the sign is going to help us rebuild the frame. We're working with the city to make it as substantial as possible within the zoning regulations. And we have a really big dream, a dream of taking a temporary sign that can't be very fortified and putting a digital LED sign. So look in the future for ways to participate in that project. And I just wanted to tell you that it warms my heart. There have been interfaith partners reaching out to me, clergy, rabbis, ministers, neighbors, all saying we want to support your congregation and the vision that we have. And my heart is really warmed, and I need it these days. And I thought you might too.
Hello. Sorry.
Thank you. All right, come in and scooch just a little bit closer. You're all so far away from me today. So, 2 things before we do our story. We have a new storyteller who's joined our troupe. Can you all say hi to Miss Nikki? So this is her first time telling a story to our group, and I'm excited. But before she tells the story, I have something that I want to read so that everyone understands what the story is about. So the story today was created by a Jewish author in collaboration with a Muslim illustrator, reflecting their shared vision of friendship and connection. It is important, especially in today's world, to teach our children to look for similarities with one another rather than focus on differences. This book is not intended as a statement on current political strife between Israel and Palestine. Not all Jews agree with Israeli political policies, and not all Muslims are anti-Semitic. Instead, Amun, for Mo and Mo, reminds us that love, friendship, and shared values can unite us across backgrounds and beliefs.
Thank you, Michael. Good morning. Hi. So every week we say we need not think alike to love alike. What does that mean to you all? What does that mean? Yeah. Absolutely. We don't have to have the same thoughts to at least try to get along. Thank you. Yeah. Any other thoughts or answers? Yeah. We don't have to have the same opinions. Absolutely. Yeah. Anybody else? Oh, yeah.
That you don't have to think to think the same and yet have the exact same. It's like my photo is this, and so my photo is this.
Right.
Well, you can be friends with me. It's not like that. It's okay. You don't like the same things, but you can still be friends.
I love that. It's okay if you don't like the same things, you can still be friends. Absolutely. I love that. I think that's sort of at the heart of this story today, A Moon for Mo and Mo by Jane Breskin Zalber and illustrated by Merdek Amun. Thank you. A Moon for Mo and Mo. Moses Feldman lived at one end of Flatbush Avenue, and Mohammed Hassan lived at another. One fall day, each boy went with his mother to a store right in the middle of the avenue. Bells tinkled when they went inside. The air smelled of spices and fresh teas. Baskets were filled with apricots, figs, dates, nuts, and pomegranates, bursting with seeds that glistened like little red jewels. Each boy ran down the market aisles. When Moses grabbed powdered candies, Mrs. Feldman cried out, "Mo, don't touch!" As sweet nuggets tumbled off the shelf, Mrs. Hassan warned, "Mo, be more careful." Mo and Mo turned around and stared at each other. Sugar dusted their noses, cheeks, and fingers. "Are you twins?" asked Mr. Sahadi, the store owner, "or cousins?" Each boy shook his head no. Mo peered at Mo's curly dark hair and brown eyes, just like his. Mo noticed Mo's olive skin and shy smile, just like his. Mr. Sahadi handed each boy a piece of thick taffy. "Thank you," they said together, both grinning widely. "Do you live around here?" asked Mo. Mo pointed down the street one way. "I live here too," said Mo, pointing the other way. Mo bounced his favorite ball, the pink rubber one that had lots of bounce, toward Mo. Mo bounced it back. Back and forth it went until it rolled behind Mr. Sahadi's head. "I think this kind of ball is better in a food store," said Mr. Sahadi. He gave them each a large falafel ball, still warm, stuffed inside fluffy pita bread. I'm so full, I feel like I swallowed a big bowling ball, Mo said after he took his last bite. Me too, said Mo, patting his stomach. While Mrs. Feldman waited with her basket, Mrs. Hassan waited with hers. When it was time to go the boys' ways, see you soon, they called out. But they didn't. Weeks passed. Mrs. Feldman was getting ready for Rosh Hashanah, the holiday celebrating the New Year. As she made brisket and rugelach, Mo got pastry dough everywhere. Enough, Mo, sighed Mrs. Feldman. Mrs. Hassan was preparing for Ramadan, the holiest month of the year. As she roasted lamb and mixed date cookies, Mo spilled chopped dates on the floor. Enough, Mo, sighed Mrs. Hassan. Finally, their mothers decided to take a break and brought each boy to the park. The boys were surprised to see each other. Race you to the playground, yelled Mo. On your mark, get set, go, Mo yelled back. They climbed, swung, and played hide and seek. Meanwhile, both mothers glanced around the crowded playground. Where were Mo and Mo? Mrs. Feldman ran in circles. Mo! Mo! Mrs. Hassan was also frantic. Mo! Mo! Fearful moments felt like endless hours. They decided to search together. That's when they found Mo and Mo. Happy and muddy, the boys looked up from digging. Each mother held her son and cried tears of joy. You are the sun, moon, and stars, Mrs. Hassan said to Mo, and everything in between, Mrs. Feldman said to Mo. And then the mothers hugged each other. As they all walked home, Mo asked, "Can we have a picnic in the park later?" Both mothers nodded. At sundown, they feasted under a leafy tree. Mo brought date cookies crumbled with almonds. Mo brought rugelach rolled with raisins. Shalom, said Mo's family, wishing peace. Salam, said Mo's family, wishing peace. That night, the first sliver of the moon shone down on Mo. He looked out his bedroom window and whispered to the starry sky, "A blessed Ramadan." Mo also looked out his bedroom window and whispered into the moonlit night, "Happy New Year, Mo." And the same moon watched over both boys as they slept. Mo at one end of Flatbush Avenue, and Mo at the other.
Right. All right, before we sing our song of dedication, first let me say thank you, Miss Nikki. That was great. And remember, if you are 7 years and younger, you can go with me, meet me back there. And the words to the song are on the back of your program, so you can sing along. If you'll rise in voice and body and sing with us.
As the little ones leave and the older ones stay, I think it is so important for us to take this moment to be together, to take a deep breath, and to feel supported by this community, to feel your body supported by the chair, and to remember that your breath, the breath of life, is always present. In this moment of prayer and meditation, I call out to the Spirit of life itself and the mystery beyond all naming. I ask that the Spirit of life come to be with us to break down barriers, to widen our horizons, to help us be less judgmental. Help us to see the larger picture and the kinder conclusion, to love and to let live, to embrace and forgive, to sustain and care. Spirit of life, help us to reach out to our better selves, that we may love more and hate less, care more and reject less, that bound together by understanding, may we sustain each other through the trials and tribulations, through joy and happiness, through sickness and health. Help us be joined in a common purpose of hope and fulfillment. Yes, renew and revive us as we seek a common holy ground for us all to stand on, one and all. Amen. So I wonder, if these walls could speak, what do you think they would say? These walls have heard forthright sermons. They have heard tender wedding vows. They have heard the eulogies of family and friends who are no longer in our midst. They've heard the cries of babies dedicated, and today they heard the names of new members. And these walls have heard cranky congregational debate. And these walls have heard whispered prayers and the silent, nervous yearnings of a newcomer who boldly enters this sanctuary of strangers for the very first time. I want to believe that the walls of this sanctuary embrace us, almost with a pregnant possibility. We gather each week to be embraced by companionship, with an emotional connection to each other, to be connected to that which is life-giving, out of the need to be healed. Yes, healed. For at some part in our lives, each one of us has been brokenhearted. We have been filled with grief and anger. We have been filled with desperation and longing. And we have each needed to be welcomed in as incomplete. Each one of us are imperfect, always in process. This welcoming in, this embrace through our connections to each other, make this space all the way around sacred space. We share this space intimately, kind of side by side, and we're close enough to even touch the elbows and shoulders of the people next to us. And sometimes that comes across as an unintended transgression. This closeness, this vulnerability that we all share necessitates a covenant, a collective promise that we strive for, that guides us so that we navigate this intimacy by grace. And I don't know if you remember that in the new member covenant, we as a congregation acknowledge that sometimes we really fall short of that covenant. We have great intentions, and then we mess up. And our goal is that when someone comes to us and says, ouch, that hurt, that we show up back to the table and we make a space for understanding and learning. These walls have been witness to the achievement, and they have been witness to our imperfections. There's a book by a Unitarian minister, Reverend Peter Fleck, called The Blessings of Imperfection. What a great title. He was ordained as a Unitarian minister in his 60s. I knew that when I finished seminary at 50, I thought, oh, goodness. And so when I read that he finished at 68, I thought, thank goodness. And then I learned more about him, and I realized what his calling to ministry came from. He and his wife Ruth came to the U.S. after the Nazi occupation of their native Holland. They lived in the U.S. for the remainder of their lives. And Reverend Flex theologically finds meaning and life lessons in community and in science. He wrote an essay once about DNA and the biologist Lewis Thomas. Biologists, he says, observe that we as humans are built to make mistakes. We are built for error, and that is, we are built for being imperfect. We learn by trial and error, and why not? Why not trial and rightness, or trial and triumph? I'll need to remind myself of that when I make a big mistake, right? Trial and triumph. He concludes, the old phrase puts it that way because in real life, that's the way it's done. In other words, he says, progress requires error. And this is pretty persuasive reasoning because our response to imperfection, he seems to say, is the very thing that can make us more perfect. Indeed, the capacity to leap across mountains of information and to land on the wrong side represents the highest of human endowments when you realize you are wrong and you make it back to the other side. Reverend Fleck pondered that this principle doesn't apply to humans only. It permeates all of creation. It's the very stuff that evolution is made of. Here's a great story. And for those of you who are young in the room, listen to this one. It's about a lizard. Imagine that this amphibian first crawled out of the water and onto the land, and he may not have done so because his feet were so strong, but maybe because his gills were so weak. The imperfection of its gills made the first amphibian into an animal of a higher order. Can you imagine that parent's distress at having an amphibian child that was so unable to live a normal aquatic life? An amphibian child where there was obviously something wrong with it, and the only thing would be to imagine it being jeered at by its peers. Now, that first amphibian didn't know what was happening to it. It had no idea that its wrongness was actually its betterness. Reverend Flex thinks that we as humans are the only creatures on earth with whom we are aware of our wrongness, the error, the imperfections in ourselves, and that we react in emotional and cognitive ways to overcome it. If we are not able to overcome it, to accept that our imperfections are acceptable and live with it, then it is our resolve to make peace with the inevitable lives that we live. He says this itself is a creative act. And isn't that what we do here? We make peace with our imperfections. In this congregation where we hold up our covenants as an ideal and we fall short, we remember that this place is where we come to practice being together in ways that are authentic and loving and meaningful. We come here to practice. We must practice that over and over because it's not easy. And it's not something we easily know how to do. I remember my oldest daughter, we got a piano, and she sat down and she started to play. And she got so frustrated because she wasn't able to create what she had in her mind. And I said, yeah, it takes a lot of practice over and over again to be able to really make music, the kind that you can imagine. I think we all need that reminder that we need practice to be who we need to be and want to be. Michael McCullough published a book called The Evolution of the Forgiveness Instinct. This professor of psychology analyzed that scientific data shows that humans and animals, as well as biology and brain chemistry, teach us that the revenge and forgiveness come from the important imperfections in our lives, our striving to be who we want to be. Michael McCullough explores our Western ideas, our religious ideas, and our therapeutic mindsets that we come to understand revenge as a disease that can be cured by civilization. He says, Revenge hasn't been seen as a natural, biologically driven impulse to which we remain prone to under certain circumstances. And at the same time, what does it mean for evolutionary biology to be a part of our survival for the fittest? Forgiveness, he says, in both scenarios are the rare transcendent quality where we accept that our imperfections are acceptable. Let me explain. He says his research shows that science is revealing that human beings are equipped for forgiveness more than we've given ourselves credit for. He said, imagine this. You're out on a hunting expedition. It's dark at night, and you're waiting for the sun to rise and the birds to come out, and you're hungry for a meal for you and the people you live with. You have to work together. And a really young novice hunter is with you learning the task. But the youngster wiggles and makes a noise. And the birds, they fly off. Can you imagine that? I can imagine that. Now, the child was not doing anything intentional. It was just a mistake, but the group does not give up on the child. Instead, they understand that you must learn. And gosh, don't we all learn more from our mistakes than the things we have succeeded by? Our collective survival depends on our acceptance of each other and our imperfections. And our forgiveness of each other is a biological imperative for our survival. We do not survive in triumph unless we have compassion and forgiveness for each other. Many religious, ethical, and legal codes emphasize retribution, and don't we hear it in the air these days? But to call us back to justice and love and equity and interdependence, those values that we mentioned before that we share, these elements of forgiveness and compassion and understanding not only need to be in our institutions, but they need to be there for our own survival. And the word forgiveness itself must be something that we strive for. A Holocaust survivor once wrote that for him the word forgiveness just didn't do it. And there's a cultural connotation that forgiveness means to forgive and forget. But the Jewish phrase tikkun olam, which means to repair the world, compels him in the same way he feels the word forgiveness does, because it reminds him that we have an active part of seeking each other in each other's eyes, that we need each other to survive and to fix things. Did you know that the Unitarian Universalist president, William Schultz, who was the president in the 90s, when he finished that role, he went on to be the director of Amnesty International for 12 years. What a wonderful honor it was to have those two roles connected. He wrote this small paragraph that has always moved me. He said, "We are all tempted in our own failings to lash out at each other. But from a religious perspective, the appropriate response to a recognition of our own demons is not to demonize others. It is to seek out our common bonds. Part of religion's job is to help us understand what our best selves look like." So each week in this room, We practice being together, and we mess up, and we keep practicing, and we try to look in each other's eyes and see our best selves and what that might look like. We are vulnerable, we are imperfect, and sometimes, even as a congregation, we're not sure how to fix it, but we keep trying. From our reading, which might have sounded a little strange in the beginning about risk, maybe a little bit of a downer. To reach out for one another is to risk exposing our true selves. And to try is to risk failure. But we risk being part of a religious congregation because we need each other. A liberal religious community, in spite of its shortcomings, the imperfection of our collective, is infinitely better than being alone. And isn't that why I come back every week? I come back in spite of our shortcomings. I actually come back because of our shortcomings. Because our congregation is a place where I know we can support each other to be the people we were called to be. That religious impulse of seeing ourselves in each other's eyes is true. And that, for me, is what's the most important. I grew up in the 70s, and there was a bright poster on my wall of bright green and orange and blue, kind of psychedelic. And it said, "I'm okay, you're okay." Do you remember those posters? Some of you may not remember those posters, you're right. But guess what? You're okay and I'm okay. It's not mere whistling in the dark. It is important that this community witnesses our imperfections and our collective ability to be compassionate and to forgive each other. So these walls, I asked, what were they saying? I think I might hear a whisper. I think it might say, "You're on the right track." These walls might be saying, "You are loved." They might be saying, "I'm sorry." And they might be saying, "I forgive you." Amen and blessed be. Let's sing together, "Love Will Guide Us," number 131 in your gray hymnal if you want the music.
Inside us, ready to lay
close with these words by Robert Nabry-Das. For all who see God, may God go with you. For all who embrace life, may life return your affection. May all who seek a right path, may a way be found. And may you find the courage to take it step by step, day by day. Xander, come on up.
As our chalice is extinguished this morning, we extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world until we are together again. Thank you, Sandra. Kathy?
Good morning. I wanted to take a minute and joyfully announce the launch of something that we've been working on since last spring, and that is the new Emerson Comfort Choir. This is a group of Emerson singers who will visit people in hospitals, homes, or other facilities to provide support and fellowship through song. Our mission is simple: to offer songs of healing, comfort, and cheer to those who may be struggling. We have 3 wonderful choir members who are coordinating this group, and I thank them from the bottom of my heart. Mary Klein, who chose to be in Sicily this morning instead of here, and Diane Eaton and Christy Ogle, who are also co-coordinating and leading this group as it comes to life. If you're in service this morning, you've received, or you should have received, this notice about it. They are on the back tables if you want them. People online will see them in the upcoming notebook. And if you know of anybody who might be cheered by friendly faces and sweet songs, please shoot us an email. We're pleased to expand our ever-growing music ministry here at Emerson with this sort of support and comfort. For additional details, including how you can become a member of the Comfort Choir without even becoming a member of this choir, you can see the music bulletin board in this hallway or talk to any of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. And we do have many second-hour events happening. They're listed on the back of your OOS. And before we close out, I'd just like to say thank you so much to our 9 new members who signed the book today. Let's get a round of applause for them. Make sure you get your tickets for the auction. They are on sale now. There's all kinds of amazing items. You'll check them out here, and you want to be part of that. That's October 11th. Next week is our animal blessing. So bring your animals or your photos. If you're home, you can send the names of your pets by email during this week to the office@emerson.org so we can include them in the service. And now, as our service ends, go in peace and take peace wherever you go.
talking about? What am I putting up? I have an answer. I finally
I just want to make sure, because I wanted to document it all. I'm moving things to Foursquare, on my thing. So, down by the riverside, well, this little lot, one of them was moved to F. I think that was. On some of those, I think the bass is part of the song. Other ones, because that frees up Peter to do his thing. You better. It's about to go downhill. Yeah, that's what I have like 20 years in the band. I feel like it's probably better than not. Sure, absolutely. Oh, I don't think he's planning on playing. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but I could certainly do that.
both of Diane's songs too.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good.
It all went by so fast. Sure. Watch out, you're about to take a drum with you.
For some reason, I keep thinking that song is Philip Glass.